Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. This is the second part of our having a family home dinner and stuff that we want to show that y'all could have a family fun night. And I have my guest here, Heather. And we also brought in our children, and this is my daughter Marie, and this is her daughter Ida. And they both like to cook. Ida looks more like me with the red hair. So I don't want to get y'all mixed up here now, okay?
Do you want her?
I'll take it. Means more grandbabies.
Come on.
So anyway, it's been wonderful. She works for Springer Mountain, and Gus and everybody there loves her.
Oh, well,
and
I love them.
It's a family place.
That's why they like me.
That's right. And she's the family place. But she is the lady, when you get the coupons from me, and y'all can write in to the station or email, and my daughter now is doing all of that so that you can get coupons anytime. Just let us know, the $2 off. But she is the one that gets the coupons for us. And I did not know she was a chef. So I get nervous about doing the show the night before and all. Well, 2 nights before when I found out, I was nervous that she's a chef because I was just a 3rd grade teacher and just a mom. But you said...
I'm just a mom too.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, and she also likes to do economically, and she likes to do healthy, so she's my new best friend.
We're having a good time.
Yes. And so we've already done the other half of this party thing that we're doing, the family fun night. So y'all can go to cookingwithmisso.com and see the one before if you haven't seen it, and then you can get the recipes online. Maria will have all those up there, and Heather would have given it to her. And then just for a minute before we start here, I want to tell you what we're doing here. You can get this at Ingles, all of this right here, and the silverware. Get your plates. I would do softer plates, except with kids you might need the heavier plates. And then I do that, and then we're also going to have Coke floats for this family fun night, so we keep straws. And then I get my napkins. Bounties are real good, and I get them at Ingles. And then what else I want to talk to you about too for family fun night, if you don't want to do Cokes, I buy my water at Ingles. And let me get on this side. I do the spring water. And I try to drink a gallon a day. I don't usually get a gallon a day. Usually it's about 3/4 of it, because I've learned that when I get stressed, I want a Coke. And and I really want a Coke float. So I will go to Cookout, so I don't have the whole bottle and the whole bit of ice cream. And then if I do it at home, which we have here, I do the organic yogurt vanilla, and it's better than regular vanilla. Ice cream, yeah. So I get stressed, and when I get stressed, the Coke float is because we lost my dad when I was 12. That summer, Mom didn't have any money. We didn't know that. She had 3 girls to raise now and didn't have a husband. And what we didn't know was she was dying because she had had scarlet fever and rheumatic fever at 7, and it had damaged all her heart valves. So she bought a bottle of Coke, a bigger one, and she got some ice cream. And then if we were really good, at night in our pajamas, we would sit out on the front porch because we didn't have air conditioning here in Greenville at that point. And she would make these small little Coke floats. And that was the best treat and one of the happiest times. So that's why when I get stressed, I go to that Coke float, because it reminds me of those sweet nights with my sisters and my mom, and then my grandmother when she'd come down. So I want y'all to have some memories like that. So I'm asking you, and email me, show me pictures. Do a family fun night on Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday night, and just show me what y'all do. And if you have recipes that you try out, would you send them to me or tell me all about it? We would love to hear it, wouldn't we? Because both of us really love our families, and we want to see our families having more time together. Now, I've got this picture. It's a Southern Living one, and Southern Living's not around anymore in this glass. But what I do is I take this out, fill this up, and try to definitely drink that, and then I just keep filling it up during the day. Because I didn't realize Cokes, now I'm going to tell you this, I'm telling you to have a Coke float, but only a little bit, because the Cokes dry out your skin. They make you dehydrated. So I've learned that now, so I'm trying not to do it just for a fun time or a barbecue, and I'm drinking more water. So
I did that 2 years ago. I had Coca-Cola running through my veins.
Me too.
I drank so much of it, but I've completely cut them out. I don't drink any sodas anymore.
That's wonderful. Pray for me, because this year this year I lost 4 members of my family and my baby sister, and it was really, really hard. And then I just kept the Cokes because that was the fun thing with Mom that time. And so I feel like now I have Coke running through my veins too. So, but I really want to hear from y'all, and then we're going to do the rest of this here now and do the Coke floats. And it's real easy to keep that, have a little shelf, and then when it's family fun night, let the kids pull out the stuff. And Mom, then you don't have to do the dishwasher, and all you can do is throw it all away. That's wonderful, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You need a night like that where you're just focused on your kids. Mm-hmm. I want to tell you one more thing as we do this. These are some things I would suggest. The Kendrick brothers that did Fireproof and all those other movies in Georgia, and I really like them, and they're from Georgia, just like y'all. Well, you could get, they have a bunch of them, about 5 now, I think, and you could get the movie and do that if your kids are a little bit older. But they also have this new book, Peter's Perfect Prayer Place, and it's about from the War Room, and it shows how to pray for little kids. That would be a great thing to do on a family fun night for younger kids. If your kids haven't seen it, no matter whether it's Christmas or not, It's a Wonderful Life. Everybody needs to see that movie, don't you think? That's one of my favorites.
It's a classic.
Yes. Now, a new show that has been on Hallmark for about, this will be the 3rd year, right, Marie? And we've done the 4th year. It's called When Calls the Heart. And I like to teach about American history and stuff like this. This is very, very much good for teaching your kids about the history of America before and how they lived. Yeah. Yes, it's wonderful. Now, if you have kids that, lots of kids, and you want to teach sharing and caring, this is the Treasury book by, I forgot, the Bernstein Bears, and I absolutely love them, and they teach real good principles. So do a reading night. If you're a widow or somebody just by yourself or just a couple, Debbie McCumber I started reading hers right after Tom died. I walked into Walmart, and it was a Friday night. Everybody was at the ball games, and I was all by myself. It was my first Friday night, and I'm not going to cry, but I didn't know what to do. So our little Walmart there in Central, I went in, and I walked to the books, because I do like to read, and this lady turned around and said, "You're a new widow, aren't you?" She was the only person in there, and I said, "Does it show?" And she said, "No, not much." She said, "I'm a widow too." And somebody told me to come to Walmart and get the Christian Love Stories or Debbie McCumber. And so I really love her. Her new one is Dashing Through the Snow. So I'm reading it right now. So you can have a night just by yourself, make your Coke float and make this dip and all this, and you can put it up in the freezer for the next Friday night or whatever and get you a good book. So this, and have a cute thing to put your dip in too, okay? And snow goes for the whole winter. And I guess as a teacher, we had to do every season, and so I still do that at home. So I would love to hear from y'all. I hope you love all this. They want me to be quiet and get done because they smell all this, the camera people, and they want this food, don't they? So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all watching. All right, you want
a new song is on my mind. You and me, it's a new day to be set free. Grace gives another chance.
Welcome back, and now we are going to do the last part of our food here. She's making for our wonderful night here, and it is Heather.
Yeah, so we're going to do a chicken buffalo dip, and this is super easy because it's a crock pot, slow cooker, whatever you want to call them. I always call it a crock pot. I think that's a brand name.
Yes, it is.
I think it's a brand name.
Yeah. It is.
That just seems like everybody always called it that. But this is super easy to do. You can mix it all ahead of time. This is great for a party. It's great just to eat on whatever night, and it'll go good with the fajitas that we cooked in the last segment. So I start with pre-cooked chicken, And this is a good way to use leftovers if you've roasted a chicken or if you have a rotisserie chicken. But if you don't have any leftover chicken, you can just cook something too. So you could do this with the boneless, skinless breasts or thighs or whatever you can find. But
And say again what chicken we have.
Springer Mountain Farms chicken.
Of
Yeah, of
course,
course.
yes.
So this is a whole roasted chicken. Maybe 1.5 because I wanted to make sure we had enough for everybody, so I brought a little bit extra. But it's about 3 cups of chicken, and you can chop it, shred it, pull it, however you want to do it. So we'll put that in
So
there.
that's the roasted chicken, not the breast?
Yeah, so this is the whole chicken. So this is got everything in it.
And you
Yeah.
baked it in the oven?
Yeah, so roasted in the oven. Mm.
Okay.
Yep. And
Did
then
you put any seasons on it?
you don't have to because you take the skin off. So you don't want to
Okay.
use the skin. You just use the meat. So and then
Okay.
pull it off the bone. So
All right.
and when it's roasted, it does that really good. And then I use 2 different kind of cheeses. You can use whatever cheese you want, really. That's a good shredding cheese. I used it's an Amish Colby Jack. You can use Monterey Jack. You can use pepper jack. You can use mozzarella. But dump that in, a cup of that, and then a cup of some shredded cheese, just regular cheddar. Or again, whatever you want to use, and I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here because you can never have too much cheese.
That's right.
And then you can put in either Greek yogurt, a plain Greek yogurt, or sour cream. I prefer Greek yogurt. I
do
think it's
too.
got a little bit more acidity, a little bit more pungent, and I think it's creamier.
healthy.
So
And
yeah, and
it's
it's healthy.
healthy.
It's lots of protein
Yes,
in it.
I'd
Yeah.
rather have that.
So there's a cup of that you're going to need to put in the mix. And then a cup of hot sauce. And there's, multiple ones on the market. Our family's favorite is Texas Pete. We're a Texas Pete
I
family.
didn't know there was anything
You
else
could be
but Texas Pete.
Tabasco, Tabasco or Frank's, I think.
Yeah, my husband likes
And then about a 1/4 cup of chopped celery. And you can use regular white onion, sweet onion. I like green onion. I think it gives it a little bit of color, but it also gives it a little bit of different flavor. But you could also use chives. Those would work too. And that's 1 stalk of that. And then you take a 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and you're just going to put.
Now let's show this, y'all.
Yeah, so I've cut
She
it,
did it
into into little
idea.
strips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can just chunk off the little pieces because you're going to
It's
mix this
easier.
all together and put it in there. Put that in. And then I have a mixture of some dried parsley, garlic powder, and onion powder. And you want to add that in.
And you're not adding all this
Yeah,
in?
you'll put the whole thing in. Yeah, so we'll
Okay.
do that in a minute. And then about 2 ounces of crumbled blue cheese. Now,
yum.
blue cheese is a very pungent cheese,
Yeah, it
and not
is.
everybody likes it.
I like it.
So if you don't like it, you could always do just a little bit of blue cheese dressing or ranch dressing, just something to add that flavor in there, because I
wing
think that's
flavor.
what makes it the wing flavor. Yeah.
Now she's from Georgia, so I need to step in here just a minute. Did you buy the Clemson blue cheese?
I don't know what I bought, but I bought it at Ingles.
You did? Well, you did good.
So I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm not
like
sure
the
where it came
crumbles,
from,
though.
but yeah. So you can buy it pre-crumbled. You can crumble it yourself. I always go for ease and
Yeah.
Yes,
quickness. So
yeah.
you pay a little bit more for the convenience, but it works. So you mix that all together, and then put it in your crock pot once it's all mixed up. And you can, like I said, blue cheese. If you don't want to have it in there, you don't have to have it. You can add a little bit of the ranch or blue cheese dressing if you want to add to it. Mix this up. This doesn't want to come off the paper today. And then you put it in your crock pot, and you can do it 2 different methods in the crock pot or time-wise. If you're crunched for time and you want it done faster, you put it on high, and you're going to cook it for about an hour and a half. Before you put it in there, you're going to want to put some kind of cooking spray. I like, there are multiple varieties, but organic olive oil spray is really good. I like that. It doesn't have any aerosol. They don't use aerosol,
good.
so
Oh, good.
spray it in, and that just helps you release it from the sides. It doesn't get, isn't difficult to clean. Yeah.
Okay.
Mix it all up, put it in there, and then hour and a half if you do it on high, or about 3.5 hours if you do it on low.
Okay.
And once it's done, then you can put it on to warm and keep it warm. You can serve it from the crock pot, or you can serve it in a nice
what
dish
we're
like
gonna do
that
like
too.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, and
And then
shredded.
we just generally serve this with tortilla chips, and there's tons of great ones on the market. Tostitos makes a nice organic variety, and you can get blue corn, yellow corn, white corn, so all kind of. So
all that.
that's how we serve it at our house.
And if you don't eat corn and you're making my bread, you can do the loaf of bread, cut it in triangles, a slice, thin slices, and then just toast them up, and you could use it for that too if you needed to. So I like the corn too.
I do too. Yeah.
And I would recommend you get the Clemson blue cheese, please.
And then another alternative for this dip is celery sticks. So you could dip the celery
and carrot
sticks in carrot sticks in the dip.
This would be a great idea. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So now we are going to go to commercial, and we will see you back in a minute. Thank you.
Don't fret the minute. New day to be set free. Grace gives another chance.
Welcome back to Cooking with Miss O, and we have it all ready. We took 2 shows to do this, and we hope that you will try some of these recipes, do something in this winter time, and do a Friday night thing with your family or Saturday night. And she is a chef, and it smells wonderful, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now the brownies are one of the recipes that are in my new cookbook coming out, so we would love it if you'd send emails if you would want it. It's Southern food, Southern desserts, healthy. And we've got the buffalo dip here, and we found out these are all from Ingles.
Right.
Y'all can get that, and that's the corn tortilla chips.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do my favorite for stress, Coke Float. And we're doing it with a healthy ice cream, which is Stonyfield's yogurt vanilla ice cream.
These are good.
And then you can
What
do
about
this.
satin hands? Did you tell
Yes, when Marie was younger, this is Mary Kay, and it's satin hands, and it's been around since Mary Kay, and it's wonderful. And so if your hands get real dry, mine do in the winter and everything, I use that. You can also use it on your feet, but you can have some girls that are from anywhere from 12 up and have one of these nights and have Coke Floats and all, and let them do satin hands. They love stuff like that, don't they, Marie? And we did that and one of Marie's girlfriends who was in her wedding that grew up in my neighborhood, and she likes satin hands too. Yeah. But she won't come up here right now because of the cameras, and I totally get that. But I have to be in front of the cameras. But Kayla is a real wonderful friend, and she rode over here with us. And now Kayla and Marie and I have 2 more new friends.
That's right.
And we'll be going
great
down to
time.
Springer Mountain to see y'all.
That's right.
Because she's got
Come
some
visit.
stuff to show me down there. So, and I just want to remind y'all that Springer Mountain is a family farm, and that's why we have our families here today. And a lot of people ask me about it being a farm. It's not actually one farm, it's all the farms. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, so we have, most of them are 3rd and 4th generation farmers that are growing for us.
Cool.
And they're all within a 60-mile radius of our base of operations in Mount Airy, Georgia. And they are part of the family too. So it's family-owned business, and they treat everybody that works for them like family too.
I was going over to a friend's house over in, where does Laura live? Laura Phelps.
Liberty.
Liberty part, and I went this way, and there was a farm that said
Springer Mountain Farms.
And,
See my logo.
I think it said the other name.
We do reach into the Carolinas some,
Oh, cool.
but most of them are probably in northeast Georgia, but there are some in the South Carolina area.
Yeah, there is.
So-
You're right. And I said, oh, that's my,
Yep.
it looked like a nice farm too. I started to stop and say, are you watching so, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and have this, and when we're done, the camera guys will all come on and eat it too. So she has fed a lot of people here today.
That's awesome. Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
glad.
Thank you.
I love to cook for people. So
delicious.
Thank you so much, and we're going to go ahead and serve, and y'all can just watch us eat if you want to. Okay? And we wish you could be here with us. Let's go ahead and try some stuff.
But if they check
people
out your
can-
website, they'll be able to make it themselves. And get their-
Yes.
get Heather's wonderful recipes.
My website is marybestkitchen@gmail.com. And if you want to see, I'll say this again, if you want to see the first part of the show, it is, I just lost
okay,
my
you're
train.
fine.
They will show me what time I have here.
What is it, your email or your website? What are you trying to tell
I'm
them?
telling them-
Email
no.
you things that you do with your family?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
that. But also, we have to do I just totally lost my
Okay, we're listening to eat.
Let's
No,
just
come back
eat,
to
y'all.
you.
Okay. About the show. This is the second part, and on my website you can see the first part and any other shows. It is marybestkitchen.com, and the email is marybestkitchen@gmail.com. Thank you so much. And if you want to talk to her about anything at Sparrow Mountain, do you have a phone number or website?
Our customer service line 877-826-2322, and I'm probably going to answer. Maybe one other person, but you can ask for me. My name is Heather. But we'd be happy to help you find the closest location that sells Sparrow Mountain Farms. If you want other ideas for recipes, I've got a bunch. We love our chicken, so we'd love to share them.
I want her to come on and make her, what is it, your chicken, black bean chicken
my
taco?
black bean
Or
Nachos.
chicken
Yes.
Yeah.
That's besides
Super
the
Bowl
fajitas.
thing,
That's
yeah.
another staple at our house.
That
yeah.
sounds delicious.
And my husband and I have been doing Weight Watchers for the last year.
Awesome.
So we have a recipe that's featured in the, we have a little recipe pamphlet this year that is a recipe of mine where it's basil pesto chicken.
Delicious.
And
Wow. Can you come back and do that?
yeah,
with
you
us
broil
again?
it with tomato and some mozzarella cheese. It's super, super easy, and it is so good.
Can we put that on the website, the recipe? Are you
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
come back and cook
Yeah,
it? Or
please. Yeah,
that would be
great.
wonderful. We would love that.
Would you like some chips?
Now, how much did you lose?
I have lost 50 pounds.
Wow.
In
that's
a year.
awesome.
In a year. That's wonderful.
I need to do that.
So,
Some chips.
I think that's wonderful.
It is. It's. I
You can eat
feel
what
like
you
a new
want, right?
person. Yeah. So that's why I love
Yeah.
Weight Watchers, because you can
You need
eat whatever you
stuff like
want.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to account for it. You have to figure it
Well,
out.
that's
But
funny.
the fajitas are a great one. So I
Are
can.
they?
Yeah, because that's pretty low, and even the buffalo dip. There's things that you can do with these recipes
Like the Greek
where you
yogurt?
can make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use a different, Greek yogurt that's non-fat, whatever.
Yeah.
You can use some of the low-fat cheese.
Yeah.
Do different things to make it less fattening.
It's
So,
delicious. I love
yeah.
the dip. So good.
So, but the fajitas already are a low fat.
Yeah, that's great. I like your seasonings. I'm excited to try that with my family.
Yeah.
We love Mexican.
And then I'm going to try some of this from Ingles, too.
You gotta have the guacamole. That is the best.
Their guacamole is good.
And then
Their guacamole's
I wish
affordable.
all of
Don't
y'all
let me
could
buy
be
yours.
here eating with us. We would love to have you. And we want to thank you for watching our show. And we got kind of a little bit crazy here for a little while. But we've had a lot of fun, and it's fun to be mothers and daughters, isn't it?
It is. It is. I love it.
I do
it's the
too.
best.
Thanks so much. And eating.
Yeah.
What did you say?
And you mentioned earlier about sitting together and having a meal together, and that was one thing in our house all the time.
We did
I didn't
too.
care what was going
best
on.
memories,
Everybody
yeah.
sits down at the table
Yes,
together.
it
and
is
eats
the best
dinner.
memories. And I want you to know that a lot of children today don't. So moms, we're trying to make it economical for you and easy so that you can get it on the table. But another thing I do, if anybody comes to eat at my house, the cell phones have to be shut off. They can't eat with a cell phone. And I think that's a wonderful thing because kids need to learn about their parents' history, and that's when you talk and everybody gets together, and then you know what's going on with your children too, because sometimes we don't. And sit around the table. One time, I had a little girl at our house, and she had never sat at a table. She just sat in a chair in front of the TV with her parents, and that broke my heart because she was so excited to eat at our table. That was really sad. So I thank y'all. And thanks for watching Cooking with Miss O, even though that I'm not real smooth. And y'all have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
The sun is slowly rising across the hills of Carolina.